of the kind of questions you're asking. If you're asking someone like, is IELTS required or not? So this is very basic requirement of any foreign education, and you should be having that IELTS certificate. So ask questions that even the person in front of you can understand that you really desire the scholarship and you really want guidance. That is very important, because I remember when I was applying for scholarships, I was messaging multiple people, and don't be disheartened if people don't revert. They have their own priorities set, but like message as many people as you can. This is my first guidance, because only then you can understand what is really needed and enhance your CV as much as possible. Work like, if you're done food system engineering, like if you want to pursue that and your bachelor's is in something else, make sure your CV has enough content in order to suffice the requirement of the program that you would be applying. If it's agriculture related, make sure you do stuff not just in agriculture but something apart from agriculture. Your extracurricular activities are equally important. Make sure you have enough skills so that your application is selected. And one more big important stuff is, don't reject yourself before you get rejected from the university, because more than applying for the application, it's important that you go through that journey with entire willpower, because your SOP takes so much time. Like it took me almost 3 months in order to finish my SOP. Give your SOP to the experts, like to people who like these people who have organized these particular event, or someone who has been into the scholarship. Give them your CV, give them your SOP so that they can read through it. You read it multiple times. Don't let any grammatical mistakes happen in your particular SOP or CV. Write what is true. Don't just exaggerate information. Make sure your SOP is in depth about why you want to apply, why you don't want to apply for a particular program. In all, if you do everything correct, and if you manifest it, if you pray for it, I'm dead sure that you will receive it. Because now currently Erasmus have included more programs that are more friendly towards fields like food, agriculture, biotechnology, bioinformatics, which was not the case before. So make sure, and first of all, understand the website. People don't understand where to apply, what is the courses. This is the basic. Understand these stuff, because personally I only applied for the Erasmus scholarship, because coming from middle class family, it was not possible for me to study abroad otherwise. So I gave it my all, and that is your pledge too. I didn't have a backup plan like plan B, plan C. It was just a plan A. If you keep a backup plan, then of course you will rely on your backup plan and not focus on your plan A very much. So just give your 100%, because once you're here, like as he said about my expectation I had before in India and here. See, Indian education system is amazing, but having a global exposure is a different experience altogether. It's not just about studies, it's about making friends who have so much discrete experience. Indian education just gives us theoretical knowledge rather than practical knowledge, and it's very essential that you don't develop a logical mind when you study in India. That's why we have like, we work more like a robot than like a human mentality. Like you don't use your logical skill sets. Whereas when you come here, you see people. Now I have people from Spain, Mexico, and the kind of answers that they give, like they may not have that much of theoretical knowledge as we do, but the thinking that they apply is so much practical and so much something that is like day-to-day skills. But still some of us lack it because of the education system, because the way we are trained, it's something that is ingrained in us. So that expectation. And as far as the teaching is concerned, yes, here also you have PPT based teachings, you have several other stuff, like there is practical application, as in there would be presentations, there would be assignments, there would be different webinars, guest lecturers would be coming, you have field visits. So there is so much thing, and the professors are so approachable, because when you're new here, though everything looks very fancy from outside, there are few things like you need to do your registration, you need to apply for like residence permit over here, everything. There are people always there with you to help you, to guide you through entire process. You are not alone over here. You have similar people, and especially if you're from India, like in Erasmus, every single course has 3 or 2 people from India who come here, and there are also self-funded people from India, and we Indians are everywhere, as you know. So seek support from those people. That's very important. And in your application journey, just few things. It's not something very big rocket science, because I guess even this year 172 Indians got Erasmus scholarship. Last year it was 148. So every single year the amount of people accepted into the scholarships are increasing. So it's very important that you be mindful of how you're applying, and see, the application opens in November and the deadline sometimes is in January. Some courses have it in March. Do not wait for the end period, and like collect all the documents right from now, so you are applying within the time frame and your deadline does not miss, because there are some Erasmus programs which may not be fully funded next year, which are just funded this year. So this is very important to keep in mind, the deadline. So from my end, I guess I've covered all the points. I didn't make it too like a Ramayana or Mahabharata. It's very simple, very crisp. Keep it short, make it simple, and that's all. And yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. And all the best to everyone who is applying. So yeah.
So the question which I have to ask from you, is that how do you, I can say, manage your finance in the, I can say, in the Belgium, because yes, that's my only question, right? And how do you?
Okay, yes. So basically, if you're from India, you got the scholarship. You get 3,000 euros for your flights when you come here. So I guess 3,000, if you convert it into Indian rupees, which is 3 lakh rupees, and flight, I myself just paid like 50,000. So rest is something that you save once you get the amount, and that is for, later also. Now I have my next mobility into Portugal, so I think the amount is suffice for your travel purposes. As far as your daily monthly expenses concerned, if you're living in Belgium, the rental expense is little too much, but you get 1,000 euros per month, which is, I guess, like, as far as Belgium is concerned, which is more than enough. If you are a student here, you can still save. If you just live a luxury life and want to invest too much in groceries, still you can save around like 100 euros or something. And you can also do a part-time job. Now in part-time job, one thing is very important: don't go into things that require language skills. Like, you can apply for cleaning jobs, you can contact Indian restaurants, and you can ask for work over there, because they are Indian, they understand you are a student. So make sure you contact those people. But if you don't want to do any, because if you are into Erasmus, it's just 2 months me here, I already gave 3 exams, so it's very hectic, and you get like enough amount in your pocket to just spend and be relaxed and just study, because they are paying you to study here. So I guess your first focus should be studies, and then if you have a lot of time, if you think you're smart enough and done your curriculum really well, then you can go. Otherwise the amount is very much specific. Plus you also get an installation cost, wherein when you come here for the first time, you also get an installation cost, which is 100. So for the first month you get 5,000 euros, and for the first month you get 5,000 euros, and for the subsequent months it's 1,000 euros. So that amount, and that amount comes to you on the first day of the month. Only if it's a public holiday, it will go on the second day, but then you get the amount well in